Hi, I'm Paul Pachter, CEO of Long Island C.A.S.T and the Harry Chapin Regional Food Bank. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Bread, our YouTube program which brings you inside the workings of the food bank, as well as our nearly 400 member agencies throughout Nassau and Suffolk County. On this episode, I couldn't be any more excited than to welcome Cathy Demeroto, the Executive Director of C.A.S.T, which is Community Action Southold Town, one of our premier organizations on the East End of Long Island. And we've got a lot to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. Cathy, welcome. It's so good to see you.
Oh, thanks for having me, Paul.
We might as well get the first question out there. How did we come through COVID?
Well, obviously, it was a very challenging time. We saw unprecedented need in our community. And as you probably know, Southold Town had the first case of COVID in Suffolk County. So we were hit hard and hit fast. And we had to immediately just jump into action and put in a plan to meet the needs of the community. And thank you to your leadership and partnership to help us meet the needs. We were able to really, in a very difficult time, come together as a community. And, we couldn't have done it without the support of our partners and the very generous donors in our community to meet the need.
Well, it looks as if we're slowly getting back to where we were. But of course, there's so much uncertainty out there with the new Delta variant and all the other things that are happening. But I think we're positioned well. So tell us about C.A.S.T. How long have you been in business and what are you up to these days? Because you always seem to be growing.
Yeah, we certainly are. So C.A.S.T. has been around since 1965. So we were founded as a community action agency in response to Lyndon Johnson's war on poverty. So we have a long history. We're a trusted resource in the community. We've grown tremendously, especially in the last 3 or 4 years. So we really are a one-stop shop for vulnerable populations on the North Fork of Long Island. Our mission is to provide a safety net and promote self-sufficiency. So we have various programs, our safety net programs. We have our food pantry, which is probably our biggest, most well-known program. And during COVID, our numbers skyrocketed. So pre-COVID, we were serving about 4,500 meals per month. At the height of COVID, we were at 25,000 meals per month. And actually now we're still averaging about 14,000 meals per month. So we're still, well above pre-COVID levels. So we have the food pantry. We also have a Feed a Kid program. So when schools are out during summer or vacations, we provide breakfast, lunch, and snacks to kids. Hundreds of families rely on that. We started in January 2020, which was just perfect timing, our mobile food pantry. So right before the pandemic, we launched the mobile food pantry, and the Department of Health ended up using us through their contact tracing program so we could provide food to people who were under quarantine. So we're serving many families. As you probably know, there are many seniors out on the East End. About a third of our population are seniors. So we have very limited public transportation. And people who are more isolated. So now we're able to get to them directly with our mobile van and resource center. We have a Farm to Friend program. So I started that in 2018. I said, here we are in an agricultural community. Why are we not getting access to all this local fresh produce? So we're partnering with 10 local farms, and we're able to provide fresh local produce daily to our clients, which is amazing and obviously increases the nutritional value of the food they're getting. In addition to that, we do benefit application assistance. We do emergency assistance. So if somebody comes in and says, I can't pay my rent, or I have no oil, or my electric's going to get turned off, we're able to assist that way for, things that impact health and safety. And then we have a wide range of education programs. So we start with a preschool program. It's an early literacy and parent support program for at-risk families. It's a home visiting program. Our teachers go in with books and toys, and we work with families to prepare these young preschoolers for kindergarten, as they don't have access out by us to many preschool opportunities. We also do ESL classes, we do computer classes. We started 2 years ago a culinary program for high school kids not going to college, and that's been hugely popular, and we just got a grant to double that. So now we're going to not only work with students, we're going to work with adults. And thank you to the local restaurants and chefs out there who are just volunteer their time to help teach this program, which is truly amazing.
It is. I mean, one of the things, that I always think of when I speak to people about C.A.S.T and the work that you and your staff is doing is that you have a clear understanding of it's more than just food that you need to change the lives of the people who are food insecure out on the East End. And, as you know, when you talk about the East End on Long Island, a lot of people have some misunderstanding, in my opinion, as to what it's all about. If you mention the Hamptons, it's immediately, talking about affluence and mansions and the beach. And then you mention the North Fork, and immediately we talk about Greenpoint and we talk about the wine country. But there is food insecurity on the North Fork because there's poverty on the North Fork. Who's coming to C.A.S.T for food?
Well, as you said, we have the vineyards and we have the organic farms now popping up, and the breweries and the farm to table restaurants. But the folks working at those low wage jobs are our clients. Right. Many of them are immigrant families or hardworking families just trying to make ends meet. So I'd say majority of our clients are hardworking families. It's a high cost of living out there, and just trying to put food on their table. I say our clients are the invisible thread that keep the North Fork together, because without our clients, all these folks wouldn't be coming out for these wonderful opportunities and to appreciate the beauty out on the North Fork. And as I mentioned, we have a large number of seniors. So many people who've lived there their whole lives and really are on fixed incomes, and with the cost of food and housing continuing to increase every year, they're struggling.
One of the things that I believe people don't understand to a great deal is that there's a large percentage of the people that we see, not just at C.A.S.T or at other programs like ours, who are really considered to be Long Island's working poor.
Yeah.
So if you say to someone, well, we have a lot of people that are working in agricultural, the farm workers, the vineyard workers, people feel, well, they're getting paid. They should be able to manage themselves. But as you, defined and discussed, it's the cost of housing, it's the cost of the food basket, it's the cost of health insurance or taking care of your car and everything else that prevents people from really getting out front of what it means to be food insecure. You talk about the 14,000 meals now because of COVID. Do you see that continuing for quite a while moving forward?
I do, because many of our clients were unique out on the East End, that a lot of the workers are seasonal workers. So come end of November through March, they have no work. So, with COVID, our clients were particularly vulnerable. I mean, we know rural populations and people of color were hit the hardest. And, they used whatever little safety net they had, to get through some of COVID, and now they have no nest egg. And so it's going to take longer for them. I think the economic consequences of COVID are just going to be long lasting for those vulnerable populations. And, the pandemic brought new people to us who had not used us before. So I think, we have some new clients that will continue because they didn't maybe realize that we existed or knew, but I think, there's always sometimes a stigma about coming for help, but, they had no choice during COVID. Right. And now that they see all that we offer, we're doing a school supply drive now, so we can provide your children with supplies for school. We do benefit application assistance. We do free tax prep. So they're seeing that we're not just a food pantry. We do a holistic approach, and anybody who walks in the door, we're going to sit down and say, okay, what's going on and how can we help? And I think, it raised our profile for people. People were aware that we gave out food, but I think we could have done a better job about marketing all the programs. You live and learn. So now people really are aware of, wow, they have a whole range of programs. So, I can go there and take English classes, or, well, I really want to learn Excel on the computer, and so now we're enabling people to not only have food on the table and clothes, we have a sharing room for clothes and household items as well, but I can get open doors to more opportunities. I can take this culinary program and become a sous chef as opposed to a dishwasher. So, it's giving people the opportunity to improve family well-being.
What you're doing is something that's so important within the industry of dealing with people who are food insecure, and that's focusing in on the root causes of hunger and food insecurity. So if people are underemployed, or people are aging, persons with a disability, a veteran, an immigrant who's new to the region, those are reasons why people are going to food pantries. And talk about marketing, you have a pretty high profile out on the North Fork. I don't think you could open up a local paper on the North Fork without reading something about C.A.S.T. And there are two exciting things that I know are currently going on. One is, I think you're entering now the second season of your wonderful drive-in movie
Yes.
program as a fundraiser. And you're also just bought a building, so you're going to be expanding. So tell us about both those initiatives.
Sure. So with COVID, we really were limited with our events. So our traditional fundraising events couldn't happen because we all couldn't be at a gala. So we had to be creative and think of new ways to raise money. So we launched a drive-in movie series last summer, which was hugely popular. And thank you, C.A.S.T, for sponsoring. We appreciate that. And so we brought it back this year. So actually this Thursday, we have our third movie of the season, which is Inside Out, which is a Pixar children's movie. And we're going to have a pajama party for kids. And then we end in September with Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is a classic, fun movie. So it's just a great way, you know, for the community to come out and have some fun, and for a good cause to help, you know, C.A.S.T and the community as a whole. So those have been really, really fun. And then, you know, C.A.S.T has never owned a building. So C.A.S.T has rented spaces since 1965, which means every few years, for whatever reason, we have to move because the landlord's selling their building, or they want to do something different, or we need a different space. So it has been a goal of C.A.S.T for the last few years to have a permanent home. And so I'm just so excited to say that we are closing on a building on September 10th. It's an old historic church, the Southold Methodist Church, which then became the Southold Opera House. It's been completely renovated, so it's move-in ready pretty much for us with minimal renovations. And it's 9,000 square feet, and we can have all our programs under one roof for the first time. Because right now we beg, borrow, and steal for classes, for everything we do. We're all over, which is time, time consuming to have to reserve and find space, and it's confusing to the client. So we're going to be a true North Fork Community Resource Center.
Oh, that's great.
And we're going to expand our arts and education program, which is really excited to bring everybody together in the community and really break down barriers. I'm so excited.
We will look forward to joining you when you dedicate the building. If people want to donate and support C.A.S.T, how would they reach out to you?
They could go to our website, which is www.castsoutholdtown.org, or they can call 631-477-1717. I'm happy to speak to anybody who's interested in supporting us.
And you don't have to live on the North Fork of Long Island to support the work that C.A.S.T does. They are one of the most amazing, innovative community organizations and a great resource for the North Fork and for all of Long Island. Cathy Demeroto, it's been a pleasure to have you join me. I'm going to have you back for sure.
Great.
Thank you for talking to us about C.A.S.T. Good luck with the building. Good luck with the Summer Film Festival. And if you want to keep learning more about what's going on in the community relative to food insecure and hunger, keep tuning in to Breaking Bread. If you like what you see, please join us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Until the next time, this is Paul Pachter, CEO of Long Island Cares. See you again.